Yes.
especially as somebody who has, you know, 4 kids and a husband, and you have written a book and you've done a TED talk, and it's like, people are thinking, how do I fit all of that in? And I think part of the issue is they're like waiting for the time.
Yeah. I love that so much because first of all, I think it's an excuse. I think that you've got to live in the in-between, and that every day is filled. It's like living in between the chaos, right? So number one is like, get very clear on what you want. You must not want it bad enough. I mean, not to be so tough love, but you must not want it because, well, here's the truth. I'm not going to not feed my kids. I'm not going to not pick them up from school. I'm not going to like miss a birthday. Like these are things that they're non-negotiables, right? So the same thing goes for you. Do you really want to write a book? Because if you do, you'll find the time. So you're telling me by all the things that you don't have time for, they're not worthy enough of you. And so that's your choice. That's fine. But if you're trying to say it's because you don't have the time, that's false. It's like saying to somebody, I'm sorry I didn't have the time to call you. I never say that. No, I say, I'm sorry I didn't make the time. Because if you're important to me, you'll know it. And so that's just the harsh reality. I mean, it's just don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can. Like I get a little bit frustrated, and I don't need you to go do these things, but stop telling me you want to do them and then you don't. That's what frustrates me, because your life is not any less hectic than anyone's on the planet. And your time is not any more valuable than anyone. It doesn't matter. 0 kids, 12, 10 jobs, no job. It does not matter. You are the, agent to choose what you want to do. And I say that about the Starbucks drive-through, about how I usually write my books and do all the things, because I really do, in the notes on my phone, is because there's never a better moment than now. There will never be. If you think you're going to like light that candle and put the music on and go off to a retreat, like, I don't know who you are, but we're probably not friends, because I don't even know how you live like that. Like, I wish, but it's like doing it. I use this as an example. I'll never forget. I was talking to a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, and it was the night before TEDx. I'm in a hotel room with our whole family because I only got one room by mistake. And so we're all in there. I'm rehearsing like back and forth in a room that's like the size of a bathroom, telling people to be quiet, trying to do my thing. And then I stopped for a minute and I was like, no, I thrive in this. I must thrive in the environment of life. And so instead of trying to create this incredible magical moment to birth something, to do something, it's like, how do I live in life? And that's what you do. That's what I do. That's what many people do. But if you aren't, take a real look at why. And I think you're hiding, because, and I'm not minimizing, and I know that you too, we have stuff. So I'm not like sitting on a golden toilet seat here. We all have stuff, but if you want it, it's yours. And, there's just no way around it. I mean, I don't really have a lot of tolerance for that. Sorry.
Amen. I would like to echo everything you said. I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, I feel the same way, and you look at anybody who's like created anything huge in history, and it's like, they decided, I'm going to make it happen. They didn't wait.
Well, it's like, are you complicit in not making your dreams happen? Well, yeah. Like, and I'm not saying it's easy, but do you want it? Like, I would get up at 4 a.m. to rehearse for TED, because that's when my house was quiet. Now, I don't need a violin playing for me. I wanted it. That was my choice. So I did what I had to do. So, I always say to somebody, what are you willing to sacrifice to do what you want to do? Because I think people are hoping that everything just magically lays out, like, oh, well, when my kid goes to school, or when I got that job, or when I got that. And I just think that also, to live that way, you're just like prolonging your life. And the other thing is, make it clear that these eruptions and grenades will be thrown at you your whole life. There is no, it's coming. Like, today might be great, but I don't know what tomorrow is. So that's why today, we will have Lucky Charms for dinner. Like, I don't know what tomorrow is. So I just, that way of living is just so powerful. And I'm so happy that you, as my friend, do that, because what a shame to not live that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's the only way to be. And I found that, like, honestly, when I have like made extra space, like I was thinking about this, like last month, I had booked this hotel. I gave myself this little,
because I feel like
this 4-day like thing to write my book. And it was like, I was sitting there in my robe and I'm like, it's noon and I haven't started. I was like, I'm not feeling it right now.
I think I would have like put Netflix on.
Yeah, exactly.
When I manufacture those moments, I don't thrive.
It doesn't work.
Like, it doesn't, because I don't think it works that way. That's why we were talking earlier too, like, when you're in the flow, or you're like, you just got to go. Like,
Yeah. When you have to give birth, like it's coming out now. I don't give a shit where I'm at. Like I'm having a fucking baby.
coming, right? It's coming. And so I don't know. And it's just so much more liberating to live that way.
100%. 100%. And I think it's like when people, I'm sure people might have asked you like, well, how did you know it was time to do a TEDx? It's like, it just was.
It just was. There was not, I'll never forget. I was like, I think I should do a TEDx. And I'll never forget, Adam would always say to me, because I thought it was quite a hellacious thing. He'd always say to me, like, you chose this. Like, not only are you not getting paid, no one's making you do this. Like, you could actually pull the plug anytime. But I think that when, and in all seriousness, if you don't naturally operate that way, if you just allow yourself, like you said, to live within an unknown and just be open to how you want to feel things or do things, like, I think that's why those things happen, because you get there in your own time. You're like, okay, well, I did that. Well, like, this could be fun. And because you're not so tightly wound to the outcome, you let yourself do it. And you let yourself do it because you're also surrounded by people that care and love you, and they'll support you. They don't care. You don't care if I did a TED Talk, you could care less. So like, when you're in that right energy, you get to try life on. And instead of it being, a death sentence, it becomes like fun, because there's just not a real big risk. The risk is not doing it.